Hi,
Hi, Lorraine, how are you?
I'm good, very good, thank you.
Good, thank you so much for allowing me to do this interview today.
Oh, it's great.
I'm a massive fan of you, and I'm so grateful for you reading the book initially, Seconds to Snap, and of course, inviting me onto the show.
Yeah, that's
Well,
great.
what an amazing thing! It was a complete life changing experience for me, and I really want to express my gratitude to you for that. So, thank you very much. I almost feel like I don't have to introduce you because you're such a household name, and everybody knows who Lorraine Kelly is. Obviously, you've been on the go for years as a journalist, and then your Lorraine Kelly show. How long has that been on the go? It's
Well,
so
I've been
successful.
I know I've been in breakfast telly for about 32 years, which is scary. And I've been doing my own show probably for about, God, it must be about 27 years now, which
Wow.
is mad. I think it doesn't feel like that at all. I mean, it's all kind of just, it's gone by in a flash. I think
Yeah,
when you enjoy something, it
yeah,
goes by really quickly. But
yeah.
yeah, it's been a long time.
Wow, it's amazing, absolutely amazing. So what I've just done a little bit of questions
Sure.
myself, and a couple of people, or two or three people, have asked me specifics. So what I want to ask specifically was, because I go into a lot of schools and things, is when you were at school, um, I know that apparently you studied Russian,
I did in secondary
okay?
school, yes.
Yeah, which is even then I suppose, and now it's quite an odd choice, and it's great. Actually, one of my kids did Russian. He taught himself, and it was great. We took him to Moscow when he was 14, so it was great. He was
Great.
able to use it. But what did you want to do when you were at school, and who like chose for you to do Russian, or did you just think of it yourself?
Well, when I was, you know how they always ask you at the end of primary school and going into secondary school what you wanted to do, and I wanted to be a fighter pilot for the RAF. That's what I really wanted to do, I know. And of course, back then, that was the 70s. There was absolutely no way in the world that that would ever happen. I mean, things have changed so dramatically, but we've had a woman flying in the Red Arrows, which is great. But back then it just wasn't a possibility, sadly. And I always enjoyed writing, and my mum always said I was born saying why. So I think journalism was the best thing for me, really. And I was supposed to go to university. I was going to university to do Russian and English, but I got a job in the local newspaper. But I think Russian, I was always interested in anything to do with Russia. It's a fascinating country. And when we had the opportunity, we only got the opportunity because there was a teacher there that taught Russian. Only out of the school of over 1,000, there was only three of us did it. So it was
Wow.
amazing, it really was. But now I kind of wish I'd done something like Spanish that would have been a little bit more, a little bit more useful when you go on holiday. But it was a great thing to do. I've forgotten most of it,
Have you?
although, but I think I could probably pick it back up again. But it was a great brain
Yeah.
exercise.
Oh yeah,
Fantastic.
because it's a very complex language,
Yes,
and
very much so.
it's a very what's the word? It's a kind of a harsher. It's not like the romantics, but
For
it's
sure.
fascinating. When we went, it was just amazing to hear it in action. And
Mm.
there was no signs in English,
Of
and so we
course.
really kind of fumbled through. But hey, as long as we're able to say spasiba, I think we were all right.
That'll get you anywhere. That'll get you
Exactly.
anywhere.
And interestingly, you said you want to be a fighter pilot because um, I decided in my early 20s the same thing, that I went to a Navy Day at Rosyth. My granny took me, and I went and I saw Harrier jump jet, and I thought, this is it. This is what I want to do. And I walked into that. This was on the Sunday, and on the Monday I walked into the RF Careers office in Dundee, and they basically laughed me out the door.
I
Like,
just took
like,
it.
yeah. Well, the
I know.
fact I was a female and I had no maths or physics and chemistry, things like that. But yeah, you're absolutely right. But I know you went up in the tornado, so I'm
I
very
did.
jealous.
Wow, that was incredible. We flew right over the Tay. It was
Wow.
just amazing. And actually, women are better, particularly better passengers,
Oh,
because
okay.
Jeremy Clarkson did the same thing, and he was as sick as a dog, and I wasn't. And I'm so determined not to throw up because obviously that was
Wow.
really messy and really horrible.
Yeah, of
But I
course.
didn't do that. But apparently, we're better at coping with, of
Ah.
course, the G-force and all of that. So it's good.
Well, that's interesting. So if I ever get the opportunity, I look forward to not being sick then in the back of a cockpit. That's a
Indeed,
great.
you'll be fine. Be fine.
That's a great thing. That's great. So yeah, that was one of my next questions. Because when I got my private pilot's license because I wanted to be a commercial pilot. Obviously, I couldn't do
Wow.
the RAF thing.
Yeah.
So I then went and did it at Tayside Aviation. Best time of my life was learning to fly. such an amazing experience. Apart from, you do a solo cross country, it's called. So you have to fly from your airport to 2 different others and land and plan it on yourself. There were 6 or 8 months between when I got to do it with an instructor and when I did it on my own. I lost Aberdeen Airport from the sky. I couldn't visually see it, although I knew I had my map and my compass and I knew where it should be. I couldn't make a visual, and I was on finals to land behind the Bond helicopters and some passenger planes, and it was an absolutely terrifying experience, but amazing experience.
I don't think I could do that. I think, I don't mind being a passenger, but I don't think I could actually do it. No.
Oh no, it's great. If you ever get a chance, definitely do it. So the next question, I suppose, in that sense, is career, is when I go into a lot of schools, they're going through difficult choices making, like you said at the time. Is there any advice you would give young people, at that moment where it's critical and so much pressure on them to make the right choices?
No, there is, but I think always bear in mind that you can change your mind. I mean, I know most of my friends who've gone to university have not ended up having a job where they use their degree. So even when you get to that stage, don't panic, don't worry about it. I also think it's really important. When I was working in local newspapers, I decided then, I'd done it for about 5 years, loved it, but I wanted to move on, and I really wanted to join the BBC because that's where you get the best training and everything. And I must have applied for before I got a job, I must have applied for about 14, 15 jobs. So when you're rejected, don't get disheartened. Excuse me, it's cough down now. Don't get disheartened, keep going. I mean, I applied for absolutely everything, thinking, well, even if you get rejected, the experience, the learning, all of that, it's okay. And don't think that, obviously it's important to make the right decisions, but not many people know exactly what path they want to take when they're young, and things can change quite dramatically. I mean, my brother went to university to do chemistry and is now working in the advertising industry, and he couldn't get more different, And my best friend did French and German and all of that, and ended up working for Starbucks and worked her way up to the top, and eventually used our languages eventually. But so things can take a while, and I think you just got to go with it sometimes, and don't get disheartened. And it's brilliant if you know exactly what you want to do and you've got that sort of clear path. Yeah. But you know what? Sometimes you can still, you can take a little detour and it's okay. But I think it's important not to get disheartened and not to get too worried, because I still have a file of rejection slips, and it's okay. Wow. It's okay. I mean, and when I eventually did get a job for the BBC, the head of the BBC said to me that I would never make it in television. This is BBC Scotland. Wow. Never make it in television because of my accent, because I was too Scottish. And this is BBC Scotland. But things have changed again. That was back then when everybody was very posh. It was back in the 80s. Nobody really sounded like me or like Amy Holmes or like, Vicky Pattinson or anybody like that. They just didn't. And so things changed as well. But in some ways it was the best thing ever, because I knew that then I had to leave the BBC and I got a job at TVAM. So it works out. It works out.
And I bet he's kicking himself now.
Well, he did me a favour. That's the thing, So it all works out. I mean, I was kind of like quite taken aback at the time, but it's okay.
It's funny because I was watching obviously I've watched a few of your interviews, and you did one with, in particular, I noticed that you did one with Charlotte Crosby.
Oh, yes.
But you sounded really Glaswegian at one point.
Sometimes that happens.
Yeah, really.
When I'm incredulous.
It was really interesting.
I was incredulous during that one.
It was really interesting to hear. It just slipped right in there.
Sometimes it does. And I never try. I mean, you can't.
No, of course.
You absolutely can't do that. But yeah, sometimes what I find sometimes is the words that I use. And first, when I first came to Dundee as well, sometimes words I would kind of not know. And I think that's brilliant. I love the fact all the words from all over the country are totally different. I think it's great.
And it makes you.
Yeah, I've taught my team so many brilliant words like galoot and crabbits and all these things. So it's great.
That's funny because I did an interview with Brenda Chapman, who's the creator of Brave, the Pixar Brave, and she's writing the screenplay. So she and I did a Skype interview like this, and my amazing father-in-law, who's 86, old jock, he lives with me in the house, and he came through and he went on Skype to her and he taught her the saying, me your Limerick with other folks cold,
Yeah, of course.
and she was really struggling. So we sent her napkins with all these Scottish sayings on it.
Okay.
So she's loving it because she loves Scotland anyway. But you're right, it's nice to have that difference. That difference anyway. Also yesterday, interestingly, kind of tying into the theme of what I do in schools and the talks I do to do with body awareness, self-awareness, mental health, mental fitness, you had on Fern Cotton and her book, Happy. And it was, she's such an amazing, spirited woman. And it was so refreshing to see the honesty that she's, told people about the depression and the anxiety and our search for perfection and compare and despair, especially on social media. I don't know about yourself, but I know that I went through a lot of that after my illness, and I came out. I assumed that you had to be this perfect at everything. And I think it came from this perfection of anorexia anyway. It was that kind of thing. So, in my mid-30s, I suddenly became, aware and thought, screw this kind of thing. Just be who you are and do what you want. And I've never been more happy and content. So actually,
you said the word content. That's
exactly.
Happy is because we talked about that to Fern as well, and I think you're right. I think someone like that talking about it is great because you look at her life and you think perfect. Exactly. She's beautiful. She's got a lovely family. She's got children. Great career. Yeah. Why would someone like that be depressed? And that just shows you that this horrible thing can happen to absolutely any of us. And we've all had that. I've had anxiety. I felt overwhelmed at times. We all do. Everyone does. And you're right as well about the whole social media thing. Because, I remember I went on holiday, and I use Twitter quite a lot, but I went on holiday, I came back from my holidays, and I said, I'm so sorry that I didn't tweet what a great time I was having because I was too busy having a great time. Do you know what I mean? And I think sometimes people are so keen to be on Facebook saying, look at me, look at me, look at me, I'm having a great time. Well, if you're really having a great time, why are you going to do you know what I mean? So I think sometimes we've always got to take it with a pinch of salt and always remember that you don't know everyone's story. Everybody's got a story. They really have. And sometimes, they can be, it looks like they've got absolutely everything perfect. That nobody has. Nobody has. Even the most blessed people, because as you know, it doesn't matter how much money you earn, and it doesn't really matter at the end of the day what you look like. It's how you feel inside. And some of the perceived, you would perceive that some of these people have got everything, but they don't. They really, really don't, and they're going through their own troubles.
And I think that's why it's great that, you have people on talking about these things, like you said yesterday. It's so important. And also that she's got that ability to be honest about it, because it's difficult for anybody, let alone someone in the public domain. But it's great as well because she can impact so many other people. I already see comments from people saying, you've inspired me to seek help and things like that. So she's helping. I have actually sent her a message asking if I could interview her too, because I think
I'm sure she will. I'm absolutely sure she will. And you're right. That is really, really important. I'll be honest with you, sort of like 5, maybe 10 years ago, nobody talked about depression. People were just too scared. The first person ever that I interviewed to talk about depression was a very, very old Hollywood actor called Rod Steiger.
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, do you remember? Amazing actor in some fantastic movies, including On the Waterfront with Marlon Brando. And he said to me, he explained what depression was like, this dark, dark, deep hole that you just can't, it's not just like feeling a little bit down. And he said, I can only talk about this because I'm at the end of my career. I'm an old man now, and it doesn't matter. He said that young people can't because they won't get cast. People just won't do it. That's changed. I'm talking to him was probably 15 years ago, but now things have changed. People do feel, Catherine Zeta-Jones talked about her bipolar, and Denise had talked about her battle with depression. And the more people that talk about it and make it like, a broken mind is the same as a broken arm.
Absolutely.
We just can't see it. And the more people can talk about that, the better, because then you don't feel as if you're on your own. Don't you find, especially with younger people, they think to themselves, I'm the only one going through this. No one else is going through this. But actually, most of us are.
Yeah. This is what's great when you go into the schools and things. There's often so many kids that the teachers are aware that they might have an issue, but by the end of the talks, there's so many other kids that come out and seek help. So it just gives them that little bit of hope that there is recovery and help, and also a little bit of confidence, and to not they don't have a stigma when they meet me, which is great, because I'm out there anyway, and people already know who I am. So
but they don't meet there, they can identify with what you're going to do.
So it's liberating for so many of them, and that's great. So I'm so happy that yesterday, of course, I got to see that interview, and I just thought I'd run that past you.
Yeah.
That leads well into my next question. There's a young girl messaged me this morning called Samantha, and she asked what your opinion of, I kind of suppose you alluded to it a little bit back there, with the media effects on teenagers, especially today, with Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, that kind of thing. What's your opinion on that?
I'll be honest with you, I am so glad that I grew up when I did, and I didn't have all of this noise, because a lot of it is just noise. We're more bombarded now with information than ever before, and yet I think people are more misinformed now because there's so much information. It's very difficult to kind of, I don't know, it's almost like you have to be your own editor sometimes, and that's a very difficult thing to do. And for example, when I first started on television, like everyone else, it doesn't matter what job you do, whether it's on telly or whether it's serving in a shop, which I've done, or being a waitress, which I've done, you're not very good your first day, you're not very good your first week, and then you get better, because we all do. But if I'd been around, and Twitter had been around, on my first week on air, I would have been slaughtered, absolutely slaughtered. I don't know whether I would have recovered from that. And I still find it, I'm a big girl, I'm 57 now, and I've been on telly for a long, long time, and I'm on Twitter, and I don't really get many negative comments, but I do get some. And somebody can be nice to you. You can get 99 people saying that's fabulous, and then the 1 out of 100, that's the one that will stick in your mind, even now. So if I feel like that, how much worse is it for somebody who's a bit younger and who doesn't really know how to filter that and how to kind of rationalise it? It's actually very difficult. And it's that thing of, you see all these selfies that are, and the touching up thing drives me crazy. The thing of like making people look thinner, or their skin flawless. Nobody's got flawless skin. Nobody has got flawless skin, and nobody has a flawless body. Even supermodels don't. They are gorgeous because that's the job, to be gorgeous. But nobody looks like that because that's good makeup, good lighting, and then it all gets jiggly pokered, whatever, airbrushed or whatever. And that's why when I do anything, and when I have done anything on the show, I always say, we don't airbrush, we don't do anything like that. It's not good. It gives a completely false picture. And I wish we did, I do wish we had more of that, because I think the pressure now on young people is really, really hard, really difficult. And if you're a wee bit vulnerable, and we all are, aren't we? And it can be very, very damaging, as we know. It really can be very damaging, and it's hard. It's really, really hard. Like I say, I'm glad I didn't grow up with it. I'm glad it came at a time in my life and I could handle it.
No, I know what you mean, especially in the public eye. Actually, a girl I work with, she's 26, and she was saying that they watch the Victoria's Secret runway show every year, but she didn't realise that a lot of the pre-show pictures, they have on like push-up bras, and then they airbrush them out once the bikini's on top and things. So it looks like that they have this perfect body, but they've actually, it's all kind of smoking and smoking things.
Them are unbelievably tiny. They're so tiny. It's ridiculous. Especially in the pelvic area. I don't know where they keep their internal organs. It must be a wee dinky handbag, maybe. It is crazy. But that that's their job to look like that. That's what they do.
Beautiful.
I mean, but really in real true life.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my hips are a wee bit bigger.
It's not very healthy.
Oh yeah. But too many vanilla ice creams, I think. And the next question I got from a lady called Emma, and she had asked, what would you like to, if you had an opportunity to say to your viewers every day, for example, what's important to tell them to ensure they have a positive day? Like, what would you tell yourself to have a positive day?
Do you know what? That's a really good question. I think it's, we were talking earlier on about happiness.
Yeah.
And we get brief moments of sheer happiness, whether it's when you give birth to your baby or when your daughter graduates or, amazing things like that. For me, I think contentment and peace of mind is a really, really good thing. And I find contentment in really small things, like it might just be hearing a song that I've not heard for ages on the radio, or cleaning out your knicker drawer, or something really wee, do you know what I mean, that actually is really, really good fun. I think that it's good for it. I don't think we should put too much pressure on ourselves, but I do think that we should focus on the positives during the day. You know, sometimes we're so busy and we're so bombarded with all this information that sometimes we don't just sit down and say, right, what's been good today, or what can I find joy in, or happiness, or contentment? You know, what can I do? And also sometimes I think that because we do get awful busy sometimes, it's really good to pick up the phone and phone your pal just for 5 minutes. Yes, we can email, yes, we can do all of that, but I suppose now FaceTime is better than a phone call. But connect with people as well, I think it's really, really important. But actually just, you know, I would also say don't be too hard on yourself. I think women in particular are very, very tough on themselves. You know, there's this whole thing about being superwoman. Nobody is superwoman. Even superwoman is not superwoman. We can't do everything, and it's okay to ask for help sometimes. But I just think, just be good to yourself. That's what I would say. Be good to yourself. Because you know what we're like as women. We sort of put family, husband, family, job, pets, and then we're way down at the bottom.
Right.
Maybe sometimes just put yourself at the top, even just for 5 minutes.
I'm sure she'll love to hear that answer. I'm sure she'll be very happy to hear that. So one of my other questions from someone was, who would you like to interview them, left? If you had a choice of anybody in the world, who would you want to interview?
That's hard. I've been very lucky to talk to so many amazing people. Do you know who I'd like to talk to right now? I'd really like to talk to Michelle Obama. One, because I think she's amazing and inspirational, and that family didn't put a foot wrong. Yes. There was no scandal, nothing. I mean, there's more scandal in the past couple of weeks than there's been in 8 years. Also, I'd really like to say to her, would you please run for president sooner rather than later? I mean, we don't know how long this insanity is going to last, but I think she would be incredible. And for it to be the first woman to also be a black woman would be phenomenal. And I just think she's as smart as a whip, and she's got real emotional intelligence, as well, and that's really important too. So, she would be, I think she'd be top of my list right now.
Oh, that's a great answer. She has. She's just so charismatic, and everybody loves her. I think they've even got petitions. They've even got petitions on the go to get to be president. So fingers crossed. And the last question really is, tell me a little bit more about your Antarctic expedition.
Oh, God, yes.
Sir Ernest Shackleton is next week, right? Okay, so what made you do that?
I have many loves, science fiction, astronomy, and polar exploration, and I've always been interested, particularly in the South Pole. And Ernest Shackleton has been my hero since I was tiny.
Wow.
So it's 100 years since he died, and we are going to, since his expedition I should say, and we're going to sort of follow in his footsteps with the amazing sea voyage that he did when his ship was actually trapped in the ice and sank, and he had to use the lifeboats to get out of that situation, and then to get to Elephant Island, this big clump of rock in the middle of nowhere, which is where we're going to go, and then to South Georgia, and then he went to South Georgia and then came back and saved all his men. So we're going to sort of recreate that voyage. It's in a proper ship. I mean, it's not like in his little tiny lifeboat, because that would not be good, and we couldn't do it anyway. And we're going to see some amazing sights. And South Georgia is like an amazing place for wildlife. Incredible. There's whales, and there's elephant seals, and there's penguins galore. And it's just going to be one of those trips of a lifetime, really. So really looking forward to it. Steve's coming, my husband, obviously, and he's a brilliant photographer and cameraman, so he's going to take some footage as well, which will be great. And we're doing some writing on it too. So I'm amazed that I'm getting time off. I'm getting 3 weeks off from work, which is phenomenal.
Wow.
Some lovely, lovely women who are going to be standing in for me, so that'll be great. They'll keep things toddling along. It'll be remarkable. So it'll be a real trip of a lifetime. It's going to be great. I think to get the chance to do it, I couldn't. So you just can't let something like that go. That's something that will never happen again. So we need to do that.
Have you had a lot of training in the run up to this?
Well, really, the only thing, because we're on a ship, so we're okay. There won't be much. Obviously, when we get on the island, we can go for, depending on how fit you are, you can go for yonks around there. But it's not like man hauling a sledge or anything. It's nothing like that. It's it'll be in relative comfort. We'll be okay. I think we'll be alright. Won't be like the way they used to do it in the old days. It'll be fine. Yes, we'll be pampered in comparison.
That sounds amazing. Absolutely extraordinary.
I can't wait. And of course, there's all the connection with Dundee, with the Discovery ship that Shackleton and Scott went in. So there's all of that. It's amazing. And there's a lot of Scottish connections there. So it's pretty good.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Lorraine. I've taken up so much for your time.
And
I'm just so grateful. I'm really, really delighted to have made connection with you. It was a year past September, actually.
Gosh, was it really? See, I told you the time goes by so quickly. But also, I have to say to you, keep up the good work that you're doing. It is absolutely brilliant. I mean, you're leading by example. And like when I can go and talk to people, but you've lived it and you know it. And look at you, you've come out the other end and doing brilliantly. So keep it up. Keep it up.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so I just appreciate this, and I will, if you don't mind, I will share your messages.
Absolutely. As much as you like, to as many as you like.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Lorraine. And have a great day. And I'll see you soon, okay? Take care now. Thank you. Bye. Bye.